Let's get straight to it. The new movement, DJ Drewski. I'm here. Big Trenton is pulled up. Queen Marley is in the building.
What's up? What's up?
Thank you for stopping by. The last time we saw one another was in Atlantic City. You was performing at a show, and I didn't know the name of the record at the time, so you came today. But what's it called?
The Heart Wants.
The Heart Wants. And you played me a couple other records. I said, oh, she's talking on these songs. Like when you think of a typical female record, the first thing you think is, oh, the twerking the ass,
Right.
the talking about
Right.
the club and talking about dudes. Where in your music, from what I've heard from the records you play me, it's some pain in there. You know what I'm saying? There's some storytelling in there. So before we even talk about the records, I want to take it back for people that are just tuning in to like what you have going on. When did music become like your life? When did you say, yo, I'm taking this for real, I'm doing this seriously?
About 2 years ago, I really started taking it more serious. Like I always did little freestyles with my friends. In school, I was in the choir in high school. As a kid, I was in a church choir, but you know, I was singing then, so
Right.
I transitioned into rapping. You know, I was actually living down south, and I like started listening to YouTube and instrumentals. So I got into listening to the instrumentals on YouTube, which kind of made me want to rap instead of sing. So I found myself singing, but then also in the midst of me singing, wanting to throw in a little verse.
Right. Let me give him a couple bars.
Right. So, you know, I played with it for a little while, but I got more serious with it about 2 years ago. That's really it.
Right.
About 2
So
years ago.
2 years later, have you dropped like a mixtape yet or EP? I know you're cooking up one.
I have not dropped any mixtapes or any EPs because my whole thing coming into it was I don't want to put together a whole project and nobody know who I am.
Right.
So I was just trying to, you know, put a few songs out just to give the people, you know, a glimpse of what I could do to see if, you know, people will grab hold and gravitate towards me and my music.
So build it up, heat it up,
yeah.
and then once the time is right,
Right.
boom. But do you feel like at this point, because you played me 5 records, but do you feel like you have enough records today if you decided, yo, I want to drop a project?
Oh, definitely, because even what I played you is not even compared to what's in my phone.
Right.
So, yeah, I still got stuff.
How
in my phone.
often are you in the studio?
So I try to go as much as possible, but I'm not gonna hold you. You know, life can sometimes get the best of you.
Right.
But, you know, to try to be consistent, at least once a month, I try to be in the studio. I don't think it's really been a period where I've been longer than like 3 months not in the studio, but you know, sometimes as an artist you get a block. Like you see I'm dropping bar after bar after bar, so mentally I just need a minute to step away, you know, see what I can come back with.
Right.
You know, so I think the longest period I ever been was like 3 months, but then after that, you know, I'm like, that's too long for an artist to not be working.
Right,
so
right.
I try to make it more consistent, where like at least once a month, you know, I'm doing something.
Because speaking of life getting the best, today you actually had like a little car accident.
Car accident.
But a real car accident.
It was real.
But nobody got hurt.
No, I didn't get hurt, thank goodness.
Yeah, as long as nobody
the
get
driver
hurt.
didn't get hurt. Yeah,
Okay, then we good. But the fact that something like that could happen, and then you say, as an artist, because you in artist mode right now, I still got to go do this interview. I still got to, you know, stick to my business.
Right.
So I salute you,
Thank you
for doing that,
Thank
right?
you.
Where
Thank you.
a lot of times, because, you know, that could happen, and people like, yo,
Right.
I got to focus on this. I'm all
Right.
throwing off. My energy's
Right.
bad.
Right, and I was there. I was, as soon as it happened, I called my boyfriend immediately. I sat in the car. I sat in the car and I cried, you know, and he comforted me. And, you know, he told me, you know, if we want to reschedule, we can reschedule. And I'm like, I did too much today. Like I did too much to make this right.
I prepare myself for this.
To not go. Like I have to. I'm like, as long as these people come and they tow my car and I can get, you know, out the way in time enough for them, then I still want to go.
Right.
So they came and they towed my car, and I'm like, I'm looking at the time. I'm like, I still got enough time to go ahead and get myself together, you know, go drop my girls off, and I still made it. So I'm just grateful that I was able to still be
See,
here.
that's a real artist, though.
Thank
For, like, if people are watching this interview, I want them to understand, like, there's going to be times in your life where stuff like that happens,
Right.
and you got to decide, yo, am I really doing this, or I'm just doing it because I want to be lit? And I feel
Right.
like that shows, like, nah, I'm doing this because I'm an artist. And you actually say it in the record, like, this ain't for fun.
Right.
Like if I don't do music, I ain't doing nothing.
Right.
You know, and it goes a long way because outside of the music, we could tap into you being a mother as well.
Right.
And are the girls allowed to listen to mommy's music? Do they know?
That's why I don't make twerking music because my kids go
break it down.
They ring my songs word from word. Like I literally did not know my daughter. She's 14 now, but they just showed me a video on YouTube that I didn't know was on YouTube when she was like 10, rapping my whole entire song, and I thought it was so adorable. Like it almost made me want to cry, but that's why I don't make twerking music because my kids literally like they listen to all of my songs, so I'm not gonna put
that's
that
not the
image
route
out there for them, you know.
And that's important. Like you being a mother and having not just a mother but having girls is like yo, I gotta lead by example. I gotta set an example.
I'm not saying I'm the best.
Of
I'm
course,
not saying I'm perfect, but I just don't want them. You know, that's just not how I was raised.
Right.
And I'm not shaming anybody because you know every girl like to get lit, but
of course,
I don't want my kids seeing me, you know, bent over in the videos talking about what a nigga doing behind me.
That ain't the image.
Right.
And you're a queen. Your name, Queen Marley. The queen is already in the name, so you gotta represent yourself as a queen.
Right.
Now, speaking of like, you know, you said you ain't grow up like that, but growing up, who were you listening to? Who kind of inspired you as far as the music goes?
So I like honestly a lot of shout out to my mom. My mom played a lot of Keith Sweat. People probably don't like R. Kelly, but my mom played R. Kelly.
I think people love R. Kelly, right? And it's hard not to because we all grew up loving R. Kelly. Now we understand there's a situation going on. But do you, as an artist, do you feel like, can you separate his life from the music?
So personally, I feel like it's people that say because of what's going on with him, they won't listen to his music. But I'm still going to listen to R. Kelly. I don't know if that's going to make people like me any less, but I like his music. You know, I wasn't there to know if any of that stuff is true, but it didn't take away from, you know,
the
he
music.
Put out good music. And, you know, at the end of the day, to me, it's just about his music. I can't control what he got going on personally in his bedroom.
And I agree.
You know?
I'm like, yo, y'all can't separate the artist from the music. Like, him as a person, maybe I don't like or I don't respect certain behaviors he has as a person. But the music we grew up listening to, like, I still, and as a DJ, it's hard sometimes because you want to play certain records and you're like, damn, if I play it,
you don't want to be biased.
Yeah, am I going to get the backlash and people going to not mess with me because I'm playing R. Kelly? So it's hard, but you being an artist, it's probably, you understand, like, okay, the music and him as a person is two separate things. Right. You know, and so R. Kelly, Keith Sweat.
Yeah, so R. Kelly, Keith Sweat. I like Foxy Brown. Growing up, I listened to it was a lot of different stuff for me, though. Like, we had 3LW, we had B2K growing up. Like, a lot of these kids nowadays don't know that stuff, and I don't want to make myself sound aged, but you know, that's what I grew up on. A lot of the stuff now is a lot different. Like, we didn't have drill music when I was growing up, but you know, that's what's hot now. So growing up though, it was a lot of hip hop for me though. A lot of hip hop, a lot of R&B. I like Escape, a lot of Foxy Brown. I love Foxy Brown. You know,
I could get like Foxy vibes from you, like, you know what I'm saying? Because she was, of course, a female, but rapping. You know what I'm saying? Like, the bars mattered when Foxy or like Kim was spitting. And I feel like that kind of got lost a little bit in today's world. Definitely. Right? A lot of it is more about like image than the actual, or making a catchy hook that people could dance to. It's like, we don't get that many female artists that are rapping.
And it's harder. It's harder when you just going bar for bar, you know, and you're not really trying to sell, you know.
Sex.
Exactly. It's a little harder, so you got to make sure you staying on top of whatever you're talking about and making it make sense, you know.
And if anyone is still rapping on records, Queen Marley's out here. Make sure you go check her records out, check her videos out. How can they stay in tune with everything you have going on?
So they can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is I am Queen Marley, IAMQUEENMARLEY. I am Queen Marley on Instagram. My music is being played on Spotify, iTunes. iHeartRadio on 88.7 The Blaze XM. They can also find me on YouTube under Queen Marley. Everything where you search me, just make sure you're searching Queen Marley. And it should pop up.
Are there any shows coming up? Have you locked in any shows?
Not currently. No, not currently.
Do you enjoy performing though?
I
like
love
when
performing.
you're on stage?
I love it. I love it. I love performing. My very first time, I was a little nervous, but you know, after my first time, it was like once I got through that and I saw that I could do it, I was I was real comfortable.
But I feel like being nervous is part of like the whole performance. Like even you could do 100 shows. I feel like even at that point, if you still get a little nervous, it's a good thing because the nervous is like, yo, I want to do good. I want to perform. I want to turn up.
Right.
So it's coming from like a good place, not like a scary place.
Right.
Right. So I'm sure you got some more shows you're gonna lock in.
Right.
So make sure you follow her.
Definitely.
Queen Marley in the building.
Lock in, please.
DJ Drewski, the new movement. We're excited to see the next stages of Queen Marley.
I'm just working. I'm just trying to work. I hope everybody, tune in and pay attention and just see that, I'm trying out here.
Right. You doing it.
Okay.
You doing it. She said in the record, if she ain't rapping, she ain't got nothing. It ain't nothing.
That's right.
Well, thank you for stopping by, even after a car accident.
Thank you.
We appreciate you coming, the whole squad in the building. And, we excited to see what's next.
Thank you.
Queen Marley, DJ Drewski, the new movement. Wow.
Let's go.